The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of providing an opportunity to the public to express themselves on school-related matters of concern. To allow for a fair and orderly public comment period in accordance with board bylaws, individual comments are limited to 5 minutes. Members of the public are reminded that this is a public televised meeting of the Board of Education, and to protect the privacy of all students and staffs, concerns should generally be addressed by first meeting with the appropriate administrative staff. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board from the public tonight? Guess they're all afraid.
Terror prevails again.
Seeing none, I'll close the public portion, and we shall proceed with this evening's agenda. Can I please have a motion for the Board of Education items 1 through 7?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw. Second by Mr. Hahn. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Susanna?
So I have two versions of the agenda.
They were removed.
Oh, well,
Right, so we want the one that has the...
surprise. I am doing it from the old agenda, just to see if you are
Okay.
all on your toes. Susanna, you win. Okay. Okay. So, actually, we're
Moving right
moving
along.
right into, good going, Susanna. You are one sharp cookie. We're moving right into community programs.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay. Can I please have a motion for community programs enrichment fees?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Chu. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Moving into our curriculum and instruction agenda, can I please have a motion for memorandum of agreement for the College Pathways Program with Middlesex County College?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Hung. Before I ask the board to discuss, I was wondering, Victor, Dr. Valesky, if you could just talk for a minute and just make the public aware of exactly what we do.
Yeah, this is a continuation of a program that is now in its third consecutive year of the enhanced relationship we have with Middlesex County College. The relationship existed previously, but we have increased, once again, the number of course offerings that are qualify for dual enrollment. And we are appreciative of the relationship we have with Middlesex County College. We continue to work with them to gain approval of both the instructors and the courses to expand offerings for students. And so what's unique about the program is a student will enroll in a class at the high school. They take their class at the high school. It is dual enrollment certified. They don't have to do any additional work. If their parents or guardians decide that they want to accumulate the college credits associated with that course, if they're successful in the course, they can buy those credits. The grade they get in the course is the grade they get on their college transcript. And this goes to credits they could apply to an associate's degree, or if the parents do the appropriate, and this is where I have to be very careful, parents need to check with the institution where they intend for their child to go to see if those credits are going to be transferable. Not every college will accept Middlesex County College credits. A number of them do. It is an individualized experience. They have to check with the college. They can work with the guidance department at the high school, and they will assist in any way they can. But it's an opportunity for students to gain valuable credits, to save money for families, or to pursue a full associate's degree from Middlesex County College, and then take that associate degree and move on to a baccalaureate degree later on.
Don't New Jersey schools have to accept the credits?
If they finish the full associate's
Right.
degree, yes.
Right.
And I've been asked by parents, what is the difference between these classes and our AP classes? In terms of you can receive college credit
Right.
for both.
Right.
Is there an easy way to
Dr. Boley, do you have?
explain the difference, or is it something that maybe you want to think about and you can come back with an answer?
Yes, we'll get that for you.
Okay, thank you.
One of the things I will say is the rigor in our classes is high. And so these are college-level courses at the high school. And that's what we've continued to teach. And that's the recognition we've received from Middlesex County College, is the rigor is there. That's why the dual enrollment certification is granted to the East Brunswick. That's a testament to the curriculum department. It's a testament to the board for supporting it. And mostly, it's a testament to the high quality of teaching staff that we have here.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. So we've been into this expanded program now in the third year. Is it looking like there's going to be any students that are actually going to graduate with an associate's degree anytime soon? Is
I would say that we
tracking?
have some, probably in the, maybe not this year, but next year, we have a couple of students that we're looking at that might be able to finish this up.
That'd be great. I'd love to hear from
Yeah.
those students too, to see
Yeah.
kind of how that goes, like after graduation, what they decide to do with it, whether they jump right in as a junior or whether they go back and take some classes, because that seems, I guess, a little intimidating, right, for a kid that graduates from high school and then could, if he wanted to, jump right into being a junior.
Correct.
So that's something I'd love to hear more about when we get to that point, because it's been something I've been thinking. When we first offered this program, it seemed intimidating from that perspective, that a kid could do that. But I think for a child with not a child, I guess, a student with the right maturity level, it's very possible.
It is possible, and I think we'll see some students achieve it. The concerns I have are how are we going to handle graduation, giving 2 diplomas to that student?
That's cool.
So that, we'll have to work that
We'll have to
piece
fight
out.
over you
And
now.
that's purely, that is achievable, we'll figure that out.
That's a problem we'd like to have.
Yeah,
That's great.
but one of the things I want to emphasize is that even for those students who are not going to ultimately walk across the stage at the Cure Arena and get 2 diplomas on the same day, this program benefits so many students in so many ways. Some students that may be testing the waters, they're not quite sure if they're college ready or if college is really part of their future. This gives them an opportunity to kind of dip their toes in the water a little bit and see what they're capable of.
And gives them confidence too.
Confidence,
that they can
yeah, and
handle it.
I think as we start to move students into, on campus for that residency part of the degree program, that, we're going to see some students that will aspire to want to do that.
And the last plug is the parents will save some serious money.
Of course,
They
wise
will
is
save some
impressive.
serious money.
It is impressive, the cost, I mean, just the credits at Middlesex County compared to other
Right.
places, and then to take that with you,
Yep.
Right.
it's great.
Great.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. I'd like to combine items 1 and 2 on our facilities agenda tonight. Can I have a motion for that, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Hung. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. I'd like to combine items 1 through 7 on our financial services agenda tonight. Can I please have a motion for that?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second?
second by Mrs. Chu. Is there any discussion? Yes, Lord.
I just wanted to say, number 5, the opt-in for the 3D mammography. I think that's a great move on behalf of women because early detection is so important. I'm very appreciative for our staffers out there that can hopefully benefit from this.
Absolutely.
Good point, Lori. This is for our staff, and this
Yeah.
is just a way of stressing how, well-being is important for our staff too. Students certainly, but
Because it said on here that we're self-funded, so we have the option to
Yeah.
opt in or opt out. So I'm very impressed and
I'm
appreciative
thrilled that we're doing it
that you
too.
opted in.
Any other discussion? This is a roll call vote. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mrs. Chu?
Yes.
Mr. Sismar?
Yes.
Mr. Hong?
Yes.
Mrs. Lax?
Yes.
Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Seeler?
Yes.
Mrs. Shaw?
Yes.
Mrs. Becker?
Yes, motion carried. Moving on to the human resources. There is an addendum on the table tonight. Can I please have a motion? I want to combine items 1 through 4 on the human resources agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second?
second by Mrs. Chu. Is there any discussion? Yes.
I noticed in taking a look at the personnel agenda that we are now assigning an account to each new hire, I suppose they would be considered, summer replacements, what have you. But in any event, there are some new hires that have more than one account listed, and I wondered if Mr. Giuliano could address how and why that happened.
Sure. So, without knowing which ones in particular, you'll see, I believe, several instances in the agenda where there's more than one account. That could occur if a staff member is being, where the funding for that position is coming from the regular budget and perhaps some grant funds as well. So we identify what grants the funds are coming from. It could be the assignment of the individual. If the individual, for example, at Churchill, which has grades 8 and 9, those are two different accounting sources for purposes of the Department of Education. So if you're teaching in grade 8, that's one class, that's one series of accounts. Grade 9 is a different one. If you're split, we have to identify what that split is. So those are just a couple of the examples where you'll see that kind of thing happen.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, did we do the roll call?
Not yet.
Okay, please do the roll call.
Mrs. Chu?
Yes.
Mr. Sismar?
Yes.
Mr. Hong?
Yes.
Mrs. Lax?
Yes.
Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Seeler?
Yes.
Mrs. Shaw?
Yes.
And Mrs. Becker?
Yes, motion carried. Moving on to staff development, can I please have a motion for evaluation option for highly effective teachers?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Hong. Is there any discussion?
Only just that we've been employing this for a couple of years now, I believe. How's it working?
Mrs. Tibbetts, would you like to speak to it?
So the first year we did it, we had 50 teachers who participated, and this year we have 275 teachers who requested to participate.
Yeah.
So the word has gotten out, and the teachers are really finding it to be incredibly valuable as a source of professional development.
And so are they getting input from others who are viewing the video, or how does this work?
They work with a colleague, they have to share their video with a colleague, and then their colleague shares their video with them, and they discuss what they're working on, what was hard for them. I do professional development with them before they start, encouraging them to pick something that they would otherwise not be willing to tell somebody was not going well. And then they also speak with an administrator about how their video experience went and talk to them about what they've implemented based on the feedback that they have with their colleague. It's a great opportunity.
Great opportunity.
What's really interesting is, so we have these highly qualified people that are pushing themselves to the next level. They really are. And I think that collaboration and discussion is really doing that. So, good job.
Great job. Any other discussion?
Quick question, do we store these tapes of the,
We don't.
okay.
We don't. In an effort to really encourage our teachers to participate in something like this, we allow them to video record in any manner that they choose. We have access for them using iPads with a program and a little robot that moves with them as they move. They wear a little lanyard, so as they're walking around the room, it moves the camera for them.
Nicole, you want to tell the board what that's called?
It's called a swivel. Yes, so some Kickstarter campaign is making big bucks off of teachers nowadays.
Okay.
Truly, that's where it started,
Yes.
but swivel.
Okay.
And the it just moves your device. over
It's the
your-
So you
same,
don't-
same tech, you may have seen this technology that professional athletes, skiers and snowboarders.
Oh,
and-
yes.
Oh,
They
The
set up a
GoPro.
video
Uh-huh.
camera, they wear a GPS-enabled device,
Right.
and they do their event, and the camera follows them and records them.
Oh, that's-
So-
The reason I asked, and maybe the ones that the teachers want to share, they could use it for the new teachers if these are really highly professional teachers, not the ones where they're stretching to something brand new, but if ones they would feel comfortable with, you could have a little library for your new teacher orientation.
Yeah, we have a pretty extensive video
Oh,
library
you
for our
have?
teachers
Okay.
right now, and we do put out there to the teachers that if you're willing to share a clip of your video, to pass it along to us. We have some teachers who do that.
That's great.
But we really want them to choose
Of course.
something that's not really great.
Yeah, I hear
So
you. I hear you.
it's not necessarily where we get
It's
our
a learning
video.
experience, yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. I'd like to combine items 1 and 2 on our student services agenda tonight. Can I please have that a motion?
So moved?
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Hong. Is there any discussion? Okay, this is roll call vote. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mrs. Chu.
Yes.
Mr. Sizmar.
Yes.
Mr. Hong.
Yes.
Mrs. Lax.
Yes.
Mrs. Reese.
Yes.
Mr. Seeler.
Yes.
Mrs. Shaw.
Yes.
And Mrs. Becker.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to old business. Can I please have a motion for items 1, 2, and 3?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw,
Second.
second by Mrs. Chu. Is there any discussion? Okay, this is a roll call vote. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mrs. Chu.
Yes.
Mr. Sizmar.
Yes.
Mr. Hong.
Yes.
Mrs. Lax.
Yes.
Mrs. Reese.
Yes.
Mr. Seeler.
Yes.
Mrs. Shaw.
Yes.
Mrs. Becker.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to reports and information items, I think we're going to start with somebody sitting here who's really excited about school starting again. Everybody up here.
She has no choice.
Yes, well,
It's my senior year, so I'm excited to see how it will go. That's for sure. So starting off with reports, yes, schedules have come out on the 22nd, so that was a nice early surprise for all of us. And that means school starts in about 2 weeks. So to leeway into that, many of us have summer assignments, especially up at the high school. So to get prepared for that and to give any assistance for students that need help in, let's say, physics or calculus or their AP English summer assignment, which I know is pretty long, we at NHS have provided a summer resource center to help these students give an overview of their summer assignment, review it with them, see if there's any help they need, quizzing them, or possibly explaining certain concepts to them that may be useful in the long run. Mu Alpha Theta will also be holding a similar session, completely oriented on math. It will be held next week from Monday to Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So that's another opportunity that the high school has provided, that the students, I should say, have provided for students, a collaborative learning environment, I would say. Branching off of that, I would like to talk about our about high school orientation. So high school orientation will be taking place next week, Thursday. So all of those upcoming sophomores are going to be coming in and getting a whole new perspective to what high school really is. And it's really exciting, and it's going to be, I think, a very interesting experience. And after that, sports. So sports season has finally kicked off. Tryouts took place, many of the tryouts took place August 13th, and we're now seeing many students participating in scrimmages against other schools. Actually today, our field hockey team, our girls field hockey team, had a scrimmage, and tomorrow football, soccer, and volleyball will have scrimmages. So come to support our teams. That would be awesome. And within the next few weeks, our cheer and cross-country teams will have a car wash program. So that will be coming up in the next few weeks. So if you see a sign outside the high school, and if you see a bunch of kids raising their signs and saying, come join our car wash, please come support us. That would be awesome. And after that, last but not least, college preparation. College applications have come out, so that's one thing that many of the seniors are orienting themselves towards. And the SATs are this Saturday, so we wish our students all the very best for the subject SATs, as well as the regular SAT. That's about it in the Students' Corner.
I'm piggybacking on you because and I'm so impressed with our football players. I usually buy it up when I'm at my son's football. They actually went door to door. So some of our football players are going door to door selling, which are really great. They're $20. They have all the cool, if anyone's seen them, I don't know if you've seen this one. Have you seen
No,
this one?
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I
so
think
you-
the chorus did it
I have two.
last year.
I know, St. Bart's is coming. Save your money, we sell it, my son was selling for St. Bart's too, mine and Chad's sons play for St. Bart's. But I was really impressed with our students because they said they came to my door. So I had to tell you, I always have cash on me. There was the one time I was literally like taking my kid's piggy bank, you know, like his Toothberry money. I was like, I couldn't find the $20.
So much for Brian's education.
Exactly, but,
Yeah.
yeah, so it supports our football players, but it's actually, and St. Bart's too, because they have different ones, so I can do both. But like Fridays, McDonald's, Burger King, IHOP, Stefano's, Smash, there's so many different things on here, and the card pays for itself. So, and it supports our football players.
I also forgot to mention, actually, so many of the clubs are also getting a head start. So it's an interesting experience, but bulletin boards are a very pivotal part of the high school experience, getting to showcase your club. So NHS as well as FBLA are getting a head start. Those are the clubs I know of so far. But they're starting to recreate their bulletin boards just in time for high school orientation to take place. So that's another positive.
Yeah, that's good.
You have such great enthusiasm and poise. I really look forward to your reports this year. And remember, Naviance.
Yes.
Going to be the key to your success. I
Every high
promise.
school senior is already swearing upon it. I promise you.
I was an early.
You could be a Naviance mom. You could do that.
I was a Naviance mom. Don't make me cry. Okay, any other committee reports, information reports from the board? How about the good of the cause? I got some. And I actually am going to ask Lee Wu I'm going to put him on the spot and ask him to give more of a explanation, but the Chinese school had a very exciting program the last few weeks, partnering and sponsoring with teachers from China coming over and teaching the students. And Li Wu, if you could please provide more details about that.
Yes, it's very, very exciting camp for organized by Huaxia Chinese School East Brunswick. So for the entire camp, there are about 150 students from 5 years old to 12. And the teachers, 14 teachers are from China, from Zhejiang province. That province has a sister relationship with state of New Jersey. So they sponsor this program and they sent 14 teachers to this camp, and the Huaxia Chinese school enrolled about 150 students. In 8 days, those students learn all kind of culture skills and language skills taught by those 14 Chinese teachers. And today, they got a very nice performance, and Laura and Barbara, we went there, we enjoyed the show. I'm really surprised those students can learn so much stuff in shortly 8 days. So do you want to add anything, Laura and Barbara?
Oh, yeah. I was incredibly impressed because the kids, then they had the performances, but also you had the little ones that did the drawings and the calligraphy. I mean, they learned an amazing amount. The dance choreography, just that they did that in that small period, was amazing. But the fact that the youngest ones, I'm looking, they're putting up their artwork, and I'm thinking it's going to look like an 8-year-old did it, and it didn't. It was impressive. So-
I had the honor of being at the welcome dinner and meeting the teachers. A little bit of a language barrier, but being passionate about children and caring about education kind of transcends languages and boundaries, and this was a wonderful group of teachers.
Some of the teachers also were some of our kids. They had, because I went to their opening as well, and I met a boy that's going into to senior year. Was it Stanley?
Yeah, they were teaching
Yes.
assistants.
You know him? They loved
Everybody
him.
loved
They
him.
were cheering. I kept
Yeah.
asking him
He was
questions.
one of the counselors.
At the
They were
beginning, because I didn't know what
shouting
to
his
expect.
name.
Yes, and the kids loved him. But he's one of ours, and the girl, I forgot her name, she sang the national anthem, both
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning and
Rachel?
Yes.
Rachel I. She will be our high school student.
Yes, they were. And I love Amy. who is, Amy, she does all of the emceeing, and she wears the most beautiful gowns, so I think that I go just to kind of, watch how elegant she is. That's kind of my fun,
No,
the kids,
absolutely.
between the kids, but yeah, she's my fun,
Yes, I'm
diversion.
really impressed by those Chinese teachers.
Yes.
They really want to know how we teach our students in this country. So even I told them it's summer break and we don't have any class. They still ask me many, many questions. How our school are running, how we prepare our students for their futures. I'm really impressed. But of course, we have the best educators in our district. But they're willing to learn new skills and in a different country and different ways. I'm really impressed. So I hope we can have some kind of exchange program with them, and we learn from them. They learn from us. We work together for our children. Thank you.
Anybody else? Mrs. Shaw?
I just wanted to acknowledge with so much gratitude the compassion and support given to me and my family by the East Brunswick Public School community after the passing of my daughter Devin earlier this month. Devin was and always will be my inspiration, and I know she touched many, many people, and I just wanted to thank everyone for their kindness.
What goes around comes around, Mary. Thank you. Anyone else? We do have a need for a closed session. So can I please have a motion? The Board of Education must discuss matters which are not appropriate for discussion in a public meeting. And whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss the following matters as they appear in tonight's agenda. Whereas the length of the closed session is estimated to be 30 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and action may be taken. Now therefore be it resolved that the East Brunswick Board of Education will recess into closed session for only the aforesaid subjects.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Shu. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Thank you and good night.